Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. My name is Alex Selle, and I'm the Lake Superior Aquatic Invasive Species Coordinator with the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. And today I will be chatting briefly about some new and emerging aquatic invasive species of concern in the Lake Superior Basin. The first species that I'll be talking about today is European frogbit. European frogbit is a floating leafed aquatic plant that has kidney-shaped leaves with rather elongated stems on it. Most of the leaves are 0.5 to 2.5 inches in diameter, which are relatively small. And for comparison, our native whitewater lilies that many of you might be familiar with are up to 12 inches in diameter. It also has 3-petaled white flowers with yellow dots at the base that tend to bloom in midsummer. This species was first identified in Wisconsin last summer on the western shores of Green Bay. There's also populations present in the upper peninsula of Michigan and the lower peninsula of Michigan as well, seen from that distribution map below. The second species I will be talking about today is Starry Stonewort. So Starry Stonewort is actually a large macroalgae, so it is not in fact a true plant. It often has whorls of 4 to 6 branchlets along the length of the plant, with irregular lengths on those branchlets as well, which is one of the main distinguishing characteristics of this compared to other similar species. However, the main identifying characteristic with this individual is its white star-shaped bulbils that can be seen in the photo on the top right. This is the asexual reproduction methodology for this plant, and is the namesake for this stonewort as well. This plant is very similar to some of our native Nitella and Charophytes as well, if anyone is familiar with those. Has populations in southern Wisconsin, parts of Minnesota, as well as large areas of the lower peninsula of Michigan. The third species that I'll be speaking on today is Nonnative Phragmites. So Nonnative Phragmites is not new or emerging by any means in the Lake Superior Basin. However, I think it's still a good species for us to stay vigilant and concerned with. It often reaches 12 to 15 feet in height, with long linear leaves that are 6 to 24 inches long. Those leaves often have very tightly clasped stems, while compared to the native ecotype, which has relatively loose clasping leaf sheaths on the stem. It often has large, bushy, light to brown to purple inflorescence that bloom from July to September. This population has a very wide distribution across the Great Lakes Basin as well as Lake Superior, but the population numbers in Lake Superior are not nearly what they are in Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, or Lake Erie as well. Just some other species of notable mention to note as well. For our fishes, we have our group of invasive carps, which are your big head silvers, grass, and black carps, and those can be seen in that photo on the top left. As well as the round grobies are increasingly species of concern, and although it is not a true fish, sea lamprey is also one of those species, especially in Lake Superior, that will always be of concern for resource managers. Moving on to some of our invertebrates. The zebra and quagga mussels are probably the most common and worrisome aquatic macro invertebrate in the Great Lakes Basin. We also have New Zealand mud snails, which can be seen on that photo in the lower left, which is on a dime. So that really kind of shows how small these actual individuals are. And the last species that I want to just kind of touch on briefly was Didymo, or rock snot, which was recently identified in the lower peninsula of Michigan as well. So those are just kind of some different other notable species to kind of keep an eye out for moving forward in the Lake Superior Basin. I'd like to thank everybody for your time, and there's my contact information. So feel free to send me any questions or species to identify at any point in time. Thank you and have a good rest of your day.